Well, this morning, I hope you can hear me. This morning, there's a thunderstorm coming in. I've been joined by Ollie Pocock here, who was a client of mine on a workshop. Anyway, he's come out to join me this morning. We're going to have a little wander around the quarries, but there's a thunderstorm going to come down the valley here this morning, so I've just come out to the lookout point before we retreat somewhere quickly before the lightning gets us. I said yesterday that this is a bit of a one-trick pony, and it is, and this morning is the kind of conditions that you really want. It's incredible. Just waiting for the lightning to turn up over Snowdon, as it were. I've got a nice tree down here which I've shot before, but not with leaf on it, so it should really stand out. It didn't stand out before. These matting magic cloths are worth investing in. One or two of these, just to keep the rain off your camera while you're playing around with all your stuff. And then just remove them at the very last second before you take your shot. Anyway, the camera's already blown over once. I had my legs spread wide. When it's windy, spread your legs on the tripod, but even then it still fell over. Hope the camera's all right. I think it is. But yeah, as you can probably tell, it's a bit breezy. Right, and there's light going off over there as well. Awesome. Let's go and sort it out. Vlog, I was saying that when you're walking up to Dinorwic, there are two gates. You go through the right gate to go down towards Clanberris, you go through the left to take you into the main area and along the public footpath. It's blustery as hell, and there's thunderstorms coming through, rain and all sorts. It's really atmospheric in here today. Anyway, when you go through that left gate, you walk about 50 yards, and directly in front of you is this gate. Okay, once you cross that gate, you're then into no man's land effectively. All your insurances are out the window. Anyway, jump across that gate and then you're into the main part, and that's where I'm going to go now with my man Ollie there. Anyway, speak to you in a sec. Now when you cross that gate, the first thing you come to is this, which is Dali's hole. Now it's often full, you can't see. You see there's some dead trees down there. It looks a little bit like Namibia, as Ollie just said, and he's absolutely right. A bit like deadfly. There's also this hut just here, and in these conditions where it's quite drained, you can actually get down to it by following the next tier up around, and then there's a little bit of a path, and you have to scramble over the rocks, and you get right down into it. Now Jason Jones has done a nice vlog where he actually goes down into Dali's hole. I was going to do it today, but having seen that actually it's pretty muddy and there's not much going on down there, you want a little bit of water in there for some nice reflection action, as it were, and maybe a bit of mist to create some separation between those trees. It's quite chaotic. It's very difficult to get a very nice composition down there, but yeah, Jason Jones has done a vlog down there, so I'm going to leave it to him to show you that. Today I'm going to head up instead, and it's pretty blustery and pretty horrible, but yeah, Dali's hole. Don't walk off the edge. Right, a little bit out of the wind here, and it's worth noting that if you get a northerly wind, you're often protected in the quarry from that, because it's got a southerly aspect. Of course, you're in the full force if you've got any wind coming in off the Irish Sea. Okay, when you leave Dali's Hole, you go at one level. There's some steps up to it, or there's a ramp. Doesn't matter, it takes a couple of seconds to get up. First thing you come to is this, and now you see this tree here. Now this tree is a great tree, really nice. Can shoot it in all sorts of weather, in all sorts of conditions, at all times of year, and it changes all the time. So in summer, obviously, it's in green leaf. Now in autumn, those green leaves turn yellow, but they don't hang around long because it's pretty exposed. And at that time of year, you're normally getting southerlies, southwesterlies coming in off the Irish Sea. So a couple of years ago, I came here one week, it was just turning, and I thought, right, I'm going to come back. Following week, came back the following week, and there wasn't a leaf on it. It had all been blown off. But anyway, there's a great shot to be had here. Popular with a lot of photographers. Generally shoot it from about where I'm standing at about something like 150 mil, 200 mil, something like that, to really get in close. But it's a beautiful tree. And now here's an image I took in winter a couple of years ago. Okay, Ollie heading down there. So we've actually decided we're not going to go down to Dali's Hole. When you come to Dali's Hole, you'll notice there's quite a big cave entrance, tunnel entrance across the other side. So if you go up one level and walk around, you'll come to this point, and there's a faint path with this iron pole sticking up, so you can go down that path and go into that tunnel. It takes you through into another quarry on the other side, and there's actually two tunnels with a waterfall in between them. Quite interesting. And there's a couple of nice trees through there, so it's worth exploring. I'm going to head down now, follow Ollie down, and go and see what it's like. I've never been in there when there's been leaf on the tree, well, green leaf anyway. I've been in there when there's been autumnal leaf. So yeah, just be careful. The ground's loose, so take it easy. Okay, I've just come through the first tunnel, and this is what you come out to. It's absolutely lovely in here. Look at that. There's pit down here, and there's a bit of a waterfall coming through. This time of year you get nice fresh bracken. It's quite lime green with all that chlorophyll in it. And then there's this nice tree. If I just tip it up, this one just there. It's not a brilliant aspect from this point. If you walk round to where Ollie is and then through that tunnel, taking a left at the end of the tunnel, tends to be a bit flooded in there, so you've got to be careful. And then come around on yourself. There's a nice rock wall that tree is set against, so that makes a really nice composition, I find. I might even take one today because the rock wall will be wet and glistening, so yeah, quite nice. But quite a drop. Got to be careful. All right, we're right in the quarry now, in the pipe 5x5. Ollie's down here taking a photo of this tree, and he's going to explain to you in a minute what is thinking behind his image. This is his website, if you want to go and check it out. Now, he's not a professional photographer. By day, he's a Top Gun fighter pilot. So he's got a sharp eye, which comes in handy when you're out taking photographs like this.
Cool, so we found this tree in the quarry here, with its kind of silhouetted against the dark slate behind it. The green leaves stick out really nicely against the black, dark grey of the slate. So I'm going to try and capture the tree in focus with the background kind of slightly out. The green leaves, as I said, stick out, and then you've got these ferns and the bracken underneath the branch as well, which is why we've got down low. I've got the polarizer on the front to try and bring the darkness out and get all that glare off the slate and the rocks. And then the settings I'm working in f6.3 with ISO 320, which gives me 1/25 of a second, which should be enough to hopefully just reduce the movement in those leaves and hopefully get a reasonable shot. Fingers crossed.
Okay, if you go back to the tree, the Winterfell tree that I showed you earlier, and you head up to the next level, which is, there's an obvious staircase. It brings you out onto this level, and on this level there's a couple of tunnels. Well, actually there's three. Two turn into three. There's this one which takes you out onto a platform, which is right inside Australia. But I'm going to take you down this one here, which splits in two halfway down. You've got a choice of which way you want to go, and I'll show you the reason why I'm going to show you these tunnels in just a second. It's worth coming in here when the weather's bad, in particular, just to get your abstract head on and start having a look at these wonderful features on the walls. Absolutely beautiful. Some of these make some beautiful images from these, and it's something that I've done in the past. I did a whole series called Slate Forms, which I posted some of online. But yeah, like I said, you know, the quarry, you can shoot this place in any weather whatsoever. If it's absolutely tipping it down, or if the light's way too harsh, like in midsummer, it's worth coming into the tunnels. They're pretty, some of them are pretty safe. If you're not sure, don't enter, but you know, always take a head torch, because some of them are quite long and quite dark, like this one, but they lead you to some fabulous places. Just watch your head. All right, now I'm on level 3, and there's, I don't know, there's about another 5 or 6 levels above me at the minute, but this is the first time you really get to look into Australia, just down here, although you're actually already in it. But yeah, this is a bit of a climbing mecca just up here. Normally lots of climbers. In fact, there's a couple of guys just there who were doing a route a moment ago. It's a little bit too windy for the drone, unfortunately, but in here there are amazing compositions. It's all about angles, shadows, light and shadow, how they interplay with each other. There's straight angles, there's curves, there's all sorts of things going on, and it's also worth looking at your feet as well, because just down here, I turn the camera, whoops, wrong way, these pipes run all over the quarry, and they also make really nice abstract subjects. So yeah, you can spend literally days and days in here getting all sorts of different images. There's trees, there's slate, there's dereliction, there's everything. There's the views to the big mountains. It's absolutely incredible. You've just got to be really careful about these edges here, because the vegetation overgrows the edge by, in some places, you know, up to about ½ meter. So you could be standing quite well back, and actually you're right on the edge of the rock. So yeah, just be really careful. And it's windy as well, so the wind can take you off your feet. So don't get too close. But anyway, here's 1 or 2 images from this area of the quarry that I've taken in the past. Next stop, the Caban Hut. Well, okay, so when you're finished on level 3, it's time to go up to the Caban Hut, as I was just saying. And to get up to the Caban Hut, you have to go up the grand staircase. Well, I call it the grand staircase anyway, because that's what it is. It's a staircase, it's grand, it's a long way, it's knackering, it busts your lungs, but it's got to be done. Now I've finally made it up to the Caban Hut level. And the Caban Hut, which is this building here, is where the quarrymen used to have a rest, socialise, have a drink, maybe have something to eat. It was a bit of a shelter as well, and it's in not too bad condition on the outside. Now I was here, first time I was here was about 3 years ago, and it was in pretty decent condition in there. People had respected it. There was a stove, but there were old artifacts and things lying around on the windowsills, old overalls hanging up on the walls. Now it's been graffitied in there, but that was as bad as it got. Now I went in over winter again, and unfortunately some climbers or possibly some local kids had been in there and absolutely destroyed the place. They'd left food everywhere, sleeping bags, all sorts of bits and bobs just strewn everywhere. It wasn't kept tidy at all. It had been destroyed pretty much, which was quite disheartening, to be honest. Anyway, I'm going to have a look inside, see if it's been cleaned up. Well, it's certainly better than it was back in the winter. That's a shame. Somebody's destroyed the stove and the chimney that went up, which is disappointing, really. Some of the old artifacts are still here, which is good. They haven't been at least thrown outside. But yeah, it's a bit of a sorry state. I mean, it's looking much better than it did. But there's not really an image to be had in here today. It's a shame. Well, one of the things I really love about Dinorwic are these things, the old derelict buildings. And on this level, on the Caban Hut level, there's a good 3 or 4 which are structurally sound. And this one in particular is quite interesting because it's got machinery in it. It's got this old winding wheel. You can get a nice shot in here with an ultra wide angle lens, getting really low and using the natural light from the windows to light the subject. And you can do that in all sorts of buildings around Dinorwic. Now, I've been coming here, what, about 3 years now, and I must have been here about 30 or 40 times. I've lost count. And I've got pretty much every image that I want from this place, except one, and it's this one here. Got a lovely leading line of this wall going through to this wire rope that's coming down, and this trolley which is suspended halfway down the wire rope, or iron rope, whatever it is, steel rope, steel. Anyway, but it's an image that just doesn't work. It doesn't work today, and it hasn't worked any of the times I've been here, because of the grey wall behind, and everything just gets lost into that grey wall and the scree on the left hand side. So so yeah, you basically need some hill fog down to, I'm about 400 meters, and all the times I've been here except one, there's been no hill fog at this level. It's always been higher up. The one time I came here and got to this level, the hill fog was there, and you know what, I was absolutely starving. So I sat down over there, got my sandwich out, ate my sandwich, and while I was eating my sandwich, the hill fog raised up, and that was that. So when there's mood, forget your food, yeah? Just get in there and take the shot. So this means that I need to keep on coming back until I get that shot, but we'll wait and see. Okay, the audio might not be great because my my voice recorder's not working, but there's some great clouds. Oh my god, there's a thunderstorm just come in, and it's obliterated them. But I had to work really quick to get a shot here, which I'm not entirely happy with. But yeah, the cloudage was amazing by the time I got set up. Played around with the voice recorder, moment's gone. Never mind. Oh, it's filthy out there. Oh, nightmare. Had to cut the vlog short, so I'm going to have to come back for probably part 3 and 4 later in the year. I think I'll come back when the heather's out, probably mid-August. Reason for that was my voice recorder died. And my phone died as well. I ran out of battery, all because I forgot to take my power pack up onto the hill, left it in the van, which is annoying, because I was covering quite a lot of ground at the time, and it was too windy for the drone as well, so I couldn't get any more B-roll with the drone, which was a shame. Anyway, so that's the end of this vlog. Like I say, I'll be back. If you could subscribe potentially, and ring the little bell. In a few weeks I'm heading off to the Alps. I'll be going to Austria, Italy, and Switzerland, taking in such things as the Dolomites, and going to Lauterbrunnen to see the Eiger and Jungfrau Hoch. So I'm hoping to do quite a few vlogs from there, and they'll be coming your way probably towards the end of June, beginning of July. Hoping to do 3 or 4. I'm also up to I think I'm up to about 400 subscribers at the minute. Once I get to 500, I'm going to run a competition, so it'll be really good. If you like the video, please like it and put a comment below. I do try to respond to all comments. I don't get that many, so it's not that hard to do that. So, but yeah, it's always nice to get some feedback and have a chat to people and get to know people. Anyway, till next time, see ya.